Come on in the room. Whoa. Come on in the room. Good morning. This is your friend, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your relative, your old and old connection. This is Pastor West coming in with a 10-minute morning message. This morning's message will be centered around answering a question that I was asked 2 times by 2 separate people. And so I tried to get them a response, but they said no, they wanted to hear it on here so that their significant other can hear it from my perspective. Now remember, everybody has a gift and gifted in different areas. So if a person gives you their personal opinion or perspective, doesn't mean it's absolute truth. It just means here is a perspective that can enlighten you or show you something different, or sometimes they can be wrong. I've learned that the hard way. But this morning, the 10-minute morning message is associated with a question. I got a young man, 2 of them actually, who are going through a relationship phase in their relationship. And it was just ironic that they were going through the same thing. And one of them was my son, 20 years old. He said, "Dad," he said, "I love my girl, but she's not where I am spiritually." And then there was another young man, he said to me, he said, "I want to marry her, but I want her to be on the same page I am and be where I am." And I said, "What?" So he said, "I've grown so much since I came into Christ, and she's not where I am, and I want her to be where I am." Then there was some others who had the same type of question. They said, "Dad, ever since I've been in this relationship, I've grown so much more, and I'm at a more mature level than I think she is. And I love her, but it's frustrating because I be trying to tell her what to do, what I think she need to do, and she just do what she want to do." Youth, I tell you. But my response to that is this: growth is a individual thing. And I told them this from a truth. I was married, and I lost me and my wife when we decided to leave was in that same context, because I had gave my life out. It's time for me to really start back serving God and coming in the ministry. And she was like, "That's you, that ain't me. That's what God called you to do. That's not me." So after a year or 2 of really, having tensions in the house and disagreements that were totally about God, and she said to me one day, I can't make you choose me over God because I love you. I just don't like what you do. So I'm not there yet." So we departed. Funny thing is, a few years ago, she got there. She even called me and said, "You know what, I want to thank you because some of the stuff that you said to me earlier, I really didn't listen to, or I didn't really want to because I wasn't in that place. But now that I have, because I kept hearing you saying it over and over, and the first person I thought about was you. And I started really entertaining it. And now that I have," she said, "Jay, I feel that I'm going to enter into the kingdom because of you." Now she's married with another man who I feel is a great person. But she finally got to the place to where she wanted to be. Now the question is, at that place, spiritually, at the place where I understood the consciousness of, even like when you say when you love someone, through the good times, the bad. That's the vow we take. Sickness and health, good times and bad, until death do us part. So we left because I'm thinking, well, if you're gonna make me choose me over God, I can't choose you. And she brought it to me, and when she said that, I ran with that. What I should have said was, "Don't worry, we'll get there." Because we all don't get there at the same place. It took me 40-some years to really finally commit. Even when I was pastor before, I was probably about 70% committed. I wasn't 100%. There were some things that I didn't understand in me. So the point was, I got there at my own pace. So how can I tell someone else how long it should take them to get there? It's just like growth. My son Solomon is 11 years old now. And it's the most important thing that I learned about growth is, I know he was a baby, but now he's 11 years old. I don't know the day that he went from 2 inches to 2 inches 1. 2 inches to 2 inches and 2 feet 5 inches, not 2 inches 2 inches, but 2 feet 5 inches, 2 feet 6 inches. I don't know that specific day, but I do know the evidence of his growth is there because he's now from 0 to 11 years old. I've seen him mature and be a bigger young person. So sometimes we don't see the person's growth on the inside, and if they don't move as quick as we want them to, we give the impression that they're wrong. But they're not wrong. We all go at our own pace. So can't no one in church tell you how you should get God and how fast you should get him. No one in the world should tell you what you should do, your healing process, how you understand anything, how you receive anything. No one should be able to tell you how to process grief, happiness, decisions that are hard, emotional stress, pain, anxiety. No one should be able to tell you how long it should take you to get over, how long it should take you to grow, because growth is a process. It will happen, and just because sometimes we don't see it, don't mean it's not happening. Because I have a problem sometimes, even to this day. I am 49, and I got people who knew me when I was 35, 40, or sometimes 25, and when they see me, they still talk to me for who I used to be. And they're not talking to Pastor West, oh, Jay, you a pastor? Why I can't be. You know, there was one time I went to church and I was preaching, and there was someone who said to me, man, you really in ministry now? And I said, ain't that what y'all prayed for? Ain't that where we go? And y'all prayed over me when I was young, that I receive the Almighty and that I do his work. Why is it now that I'm actually doing his work, people surprised? Why? Because of my prior reputation. They kept seeing me for who I used to be instead of seeing me for who I am now. In that period, there was growth. But just because they didn't see it, they can't sometimes consciously connect with it. And I tell them, unfortunately, that's not my problem. But please, allow me to reintroduce myself, because I'm no longer the person who I used to be. I've done some bad things. Even I'm trying to repair relationships with my children, and the people I love. Not because I was always bad, because sometimes I just wasn't there. Chasing money, sometimes women, chasing goals and dreams, and I figured, well, I'm going to get there, and then I'm going to bring everybody with me. But in that process, it was taking so much longer that there were so many events and situations, impactful situations in my children's lives that I wasn't there. And now I'm trying to chase or redeem the time now to get back and get closer with them. But that was me, and understanding who I am. And now, who I am now, people, even my children, people who, my relatives, have to get to know the person I am now, because I have grown. And sometimes it takes people to come around, to reconnect, to have intelligent conversations, to experience the person who you are now. Because sometimes you have to even when we have to reintroduce ourselves, or we have to put ourselves in a situation where people get to know us for who we are now. So growth in relationships, it's not about how you see the person. The question is, do you love them enough to love them through their process? Because like I told the young man, you 27, she 24. You haven't even discovered who you are yet as a person. How you going to tell someone else who they should be? I said, so you're not marrying her for who she is, you're marrying her for what you want her to be for you. And that's not fair. So if you're not there, don't just jump into that relationship for the image and for, oh, she's pretty, she's sexy, she's successful, we can have beautiful kids. All the external reasons why we get married. But marry that person, I'm going to get married again. And when I get married this time, it's going to be because I could live without you, but I just don't want to, because that's how impactful you are to me. And that's what I'm searching for. So in relationships, we can't look at people for who we want them to be. We got to look at them for who they are. And that growth process will happen. The question is, will you love them enough to stay and allow them to grow as we grow? Because even in that process of growth, I'm still growing myself, and I'm 49. When I think about all the information, the things that I want to do right now, I saw my little cousin showing how fine she was. That somebody gave her the 60-day challenge, and she said she was so glad that they did. I said, you know what? I'm finna do that because I want to be the most healthiest person I can be for myself, and to live as long as I can for my children and my grandchildren. And that's now here's another growth process that I'm about to enter into, from being, a little thicker to thin fit like I used to be. So the point is, always allow people their their place and room to grow, and make it safe for them. Make it a safe environment, so when people are trying to grow, that they feel covered and protected, not exposed, not ridiculed, not judged. Because the most effective environment for true growth is a proper environment of love and support. So this is your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your friend, and the person who loves you the most. This is Pastor West, and this is my 10-minute turn into 15-minute morning message. And y'all have a blessed day. You need me, reach out to me. What's up, Jarius? My brother from New York. And I want y'all to know that I thank y'all for listening. I will be having that Bible study tonight, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in depth, because this is just a brief introduction, but there's so much more to it. And any pastor, any person that has any, some people social workers, some people study psychology, can give so much more different aspects and perspectives on that. But I thank you for lending me your ear this morning, and I pray that you have a blessed and wonderful day. Have a good one. God bless.